the morning show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. I'm Ulster Burr and I'm joined tonight by Blue and Bridgeman. So, how are you guys?
Cracking, Ulster, cracking. Just looking forward to the game that's starting again at the weekend.
Can I say a big good evening to the boys in the panel and a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes.
He's smooth, isn't he, Ulster?
He's cool as a cucumber, what? He's good, isn't he?
Dear professional, off mute first time and everything, my man.
He's lured him. He's keeping well then, guys, apart from everything else. Just looking forward to getting Rangers back again now, get the football going.
Oh, can't wait, mate. And I was interested. I think today, I don't know if you're picking it up later on tonight, it looks like they're going to do a fan zone for the Dundee game, which is nice, good to see.
I haven't seen that. That'd be great. I don't know if I'm sure it'll come up later on. What about yourself, Brett? You same as the rest of us, I suppose, mate, just itching to get back to Ibrox and watching the football.
Absolutely. Desperate to see the ongoing, shall we say, improvement in the team, because we were improving very well and we've done so well getting through in Europe to a lot of fan surprise, delightful surprise. And yes, we want to see how we can convert that to good sort of progress into wins at Ibrox. The last win we got to Ibrox from a league perspective was St Mirren. So we need to go out there and absolutely mollocate Dundee, but play decent football, show them what we're made of, and get in there. I'm quite sure our team are far, far, far superior in every position to anything that St Mirren's got to offer us. So let's go out and prove it and show them. Dundee, sorry, I said St Mirren there, apologies.
Just another thing quickly, just before we forget, there's a Legends Night, and I think there's a lot of tickets have been sold for it. It's Colin Stein and Willie Johnson, and it was meant to be on the 25th of October, but due to that game now being clashing actually with one of UEFA Cup group games, it's now being changed. So any of you who do have tickets for that, I know Jimmy had tickets for that as well, it's been changed to the 10th of January 2019. I was looking at Tom Miller's Twitter today and he had shared that info, so just in case any of you have got tickets, don't turn up that night. And I suppose you don't want to anyway because the game's on, but at least you'll get to watch the game now. But 10th of January, put that in your wee diary so you remember when that's been changed to. That'll be a great night. I don't know if any of you two guys are going. Any of you two going to that? Rudy or Bridge at Legends Night?
No, I'll not be going, pal. No, I'll not be going.
Oh,
I'm too old.
You're just fear they'll tell you. Yeah, I thought you fear you'll tell you to get your boots out, Bridges. That's what I.
Oh dear. I was the last time I played football was at a works day out, and I went and goal out the way, you know. And all the fancy dancy ones outside there think they can play football. You're watching them, you're like they're laughing, you know. And I was outstanding in goal, of course. Never moved.
Never moved.
Well, you know, you stand there, you know yourself. You get position, and you say, right, I'm that, and you just spread your arms, you know, because they're not going to. It's no big goals. There's only wee 25-a-side goals if it is that, you know.
Yeah.
Good laugh.
Just another thing as well. We've got a wee competition running on the Facebook. One of our listeners is actually Skipper, one of our loyal listeners. He's actually provided us with 2 tickets. So what he's going to do is one of the tickets are going to be face value at £24, and the other ticket is going to be free. So we're doing a wee competition at the minute, just where you share the page and like the page, and obviously the tickets then will go to whoever is selected at a random draw. So we're going to try and do that tomorrow. So if you get your names into the hat, you'll have a chance of getting 2 tickets beside each other, and for £24, that's not bad.
Ulster, can I come in on that just quickly? Is it Graham Mitchell or Mitchell Graham? One of the boys that came on last night as a phone caller, his first time phone call.
Yeah,
he said last night he was looking for 2 tickets. He wouldn't take one, but he was looking for two.
We've actually been in contact with Graham about that, but unfortunately, he actually can't make that date. And so it was actually Skipper. Skipper heard that the guy was looking for two, and he got in touch with him. But unfortunately, he can't make that date, unfortunately. But the 2 tickets were offered to him, Bridge.
Right, cool. Well done.
So we're going to go through. There's a few questions, obviously, from yesterday where we're starting to go through them a wee bit. So we're going to, as we promised, people would go through them again today, anybody that we missed. So let me see who we've got. So there's one question, first of all, from Tracy Barr. And she wants to know what's happening with the strips, ? It's terrible that you can't get the top for the team you love, which I can understand. I think that's a bit of an issue for all of us at the minute because we're busting to get the shirts on us. So what do you think of yourself, Blue, mate, on that one?
It's really sad that we haven't been able to get the strips out on time because, on top of which, I mean, we've all agreed they're fantastic looking strips, and you just want to get your hands on them. And through all the legal wranglings and whatever else has been going on, it's just been put back. And I think it might end up impacting the amount of strips that we could sell in the end. You know, it's getting towards, if it goes on till after Christmas, and people are going to think, well, there's another strip out in 6 months' time. You know, some people will, certainly, and in some ways you can't really blame them. So that's very disappointing. Although I did hear a rumour they're supposed to be out on the 20th of this month. I don't know how true it is.
Oh, but that's actually a very good point, Blue. That is a very good point because, as you say, you know, the longer it goes on, the more people go, how much work am I going to get out of this shirt now, you know? And as much as you're busting, you might buy one, you might buy two, but when you buy the third, this late, don't know. Well, just before you come in, we've been joined by Jimmy.
Stickman. Hello. His microphone's gone. You there, Jimmy?
I'm here, guys. Just didn't have it on mute there. How you all doing?
All right, but can I just... But excuse me a minute. I just want to say something. We're talking about a subject about the strips, Jimmy. I just want to update what the boys were saying. There is a post in follow, and on that post over the last 2 days, they've been posting that there's been some emails sent to another person who works for JD Sports, and JD Sports have said they're ready to go. Following on from it, Blue Shadow saying they're ready to go. As far as they're concerned, they'll be selling them on the 20th. But that leads to a few other things like how is it going to be JD Sports? Because we've never been told officially that Sports Direct are not involved. So it adds up to the not confusion, because confusion and that we just don't know. But there seems to be quite a good rumour, quite a strong rumour. Some guys are saying it's going to happen, that they'll be selling them before the end of this month. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen. I would desperately keen to see it happen and let the guys get the strips, for goodness sake.
Definitely.
Get it sorted out, you know.
Somebody said that to me today about that email, but I haven't actually come across it, you know. So that script then, aye.
Well, we're only going by rumour. As Ulster was saying there, you're getting asked questions on the Facebook page. Is it a Facebook page, Ulster?
It is indeed, yep.
Yeah. So if some people are asking questions, we've got a number of questions left over from last night.
Yeah.
One of them is, when are we going to see the strips, if the panel could tell us? Nobody really knows.
No.
We're only hearing the same rumours and stories. They're quite convinced it's going to happen and that Ashley's gone. So that's the kind of thoughts process in some of them anyway, you know.
Okay.
It's just rumour, though, until it comes out official on the official site. I wouldn't believe a word of it.
Nothing's written.
I know, because they'll all be coming hunting us if those tops aren't out in that date.
No, it's not going to happen like that for sure. We can. None of us know, and no, I don't know if any of them really know, but they've got word from people who they trust. So basically, that's what it's going to do.
Jimmy, I don't know if you heard. Did you hear me at the start just about the Legends Night? Do you know that's changed?
I did, mate. I got a notification for them.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Is it 10th, 11th of January, is it?
The 10th of January, mate, yeah.
10th, aye. I heard you. I was trying to get sorted for to come on there, and I heard you giving the guys information. Aye, that's great news. I was going to have to pick that night, and obviously I know I'm going to be in my usual seat at Ibrox and that, but I'm glad that they saw common sense and changed it, and that is good. Pleased about that. Really pleased.
Yeah, because it means you'd have been in a predicament there, wouldn't you? You know, because you want to see both. You want to see obviously the Legends night, but you want to be at the game. So at least now you can do both.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Cracking, can't wait.
I think Oxy, are you in there, Ox?
I'm here, mate. You carry on, bro.
There he is, boy. Ox, what about yourself, buddy? How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Rushed and under pressure, but business needs and all that bollocks. Just been busy today at the house for 15 hours, but sorry I'm late. Fox, I apologise. I feel as if I've let you down. I've let my family down, my school teachers, my country, my religion, Jimmy from Knightswood, Bridgeman, Ulster, Butterbean, Skipper, Cumbrian Bear, and everybody
Your excuse
else.
isn't good enough. Not good enough.
Stand in the corner.
Sorry, I've got a note from my mom, Ulster.
Oh, that'll do. That'll do.
Oh, there he goes, spelling.
Your timekeeping's worse than Alan Brazil, by the way.
Whoa, that's quite.
I know you're a fan of a Brazilian.
Oh.
I apologise. Carry on, Ulster.
Yeah, what about yourself, Fox, when it comes to obviously Tracy Barr's question about the strips? You know, it's just starting to get a wee bit. No, I think all the fans are, because everybody's desperate to get a shirt on their back, Ox, you know.
I think you'll hear something within the next week, Ulster, if Foxy's sources are correct.
Oh, Fox, what are you hearing?
I don't know, he must be dreaming about things I tell him, because I've not spoke to him all day.
I think if he did tell me on Saturday night, if he thinks back what was happening with the strips, but
We're all right. If it doesn't come out, the 20th, we can say Bridgeman tell us and blame him.
I think it would be a great morale booster for the whole support.
Oh God, and too.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
think in more ways than one, if it goes the way we hope it goes, and it is JD Sports that are going to do it with Hummel strips, then it'd just be wonderful if it happened like that. It would mean that there's no Sports Direct Mike Ashley connection. We would like to, I think, as a support, we would like to get him out of our club altogether. But it might not happen. So we just don't know. It might just be rumours and innuendo, you know.
Does anybody else think that has he got a wee bit of sympathy for Hummel in this whole deal?
Yes.
Of course, aye.
They must be getting itchy feet, you know, because they want their stuff out, don't they? It's just not happening for them. I suppose.
Well, they've already paid out to produce a big lump of the stuff, and they're expecting the whole lot to go, you know, straight out the door, and it's just no gone. So, but I think the fact that if it's, you know, what seems to be intimated tonight that Ashley might not be involved in the deal, I think that'll increase the sales, because I think a lot of Bears are just no happy at putting money across Mike Ashley's till. That's for sure.
I have to agree with you there, Blue Shadow. I think no matter what happens, there's a lot of Rangers fans will go and buy the strips when they're available, and no matter who is distributing them. If it's Ashley, then a lot of these guys will just put up. But there are a number of Rangers fans who will not buy any money, will not give that guy any money at all. So somewhere along in the club may not get the full boost of cash injection from the shirt sales that they could get if indeed Ashley's still involved. So it's a difficult one. It's a very narrow line. It's very slippy for everybody.
Ulster, do you remember a few years ago when you were a teenager and Bridge visited his first Sports Direct store and he gave us feedback on it? Do you remember that, Bridge?
Oh, yes, indeed. And I still say it. I won't repeat the words, of course, but I still say it. A right old corner shop, seriously.
Jumbo Sale, I think, was the one.
Well, yeah, close to it.
That is a bit like a Jumbo Sale.
Poor. Just absolutely jam-packed with stuff, you know. So, and you just need to go into the big store at Ibrox and you'll see what we're talking about, the way it's been running now. Shocking. What was a guy call it? Tat.
Yeah.
We'll go on to our next question, which is
Aye.
one from Glenn Johnson. So he's basically like, well, there's a few questions in here, but we'll go with you first, Foxy, since you've just joined us as well. The panel's thoughts on Sadiq, our midfield depth, and our ability to win the league at the minute. So what do you think? Your thoughts on that one, Fox?
I don't think we've seen enough of young Sadiq to make any comment on him. Obviously, he's well thought. I think it was Roma he came for. And just not ready yet. I don't think he looks as though he's fit and looks far from it. For me, anyway. The small glimpses we've had of him, we tend to see a couple of wee flashes of brilliance, and then the next thing, he's no looking after the ball, as they say, and he loses the ball. But I think we'll need to wait on Sadiq. As for the midfield, really been boosted, I think, when most of the Rangers support might think that as well, with the pictures coming for the training ground, seeing Dorrans, Rossiter, the boy Grezda, and that are looking as though they're getting into full training now. So that'll be a big boost for us coming into these long list of games that's coming up just now. I think the midfield, the selections we've got, will really see us competing in all games, because we've got enough now to rotate the players and no weaken us too much in doing so.
Okay, mate. Jeremy?
Sadiq, I don't think he'll play much of a part this season. I know we haven't seen much of him, but I think when we go to Sadiq, I don't think the manager thought he was going to get Kyle Lafferty. With what I've seen with Sadiq, I say earlier, has not been great. For me, I've said before, he'll be another bit part player for us if he does get the chance. Unfortunately for him, he's not had a chance to show what we've all seen on YouTube. Now, sometimes YouTube can flatter to deceive. So I don't think he'll get much of a chance. He'll be a stopgap maybe for cup games and things like that, League Cup and Scottish Cup. We'll wait and see. Midfield, Fox, I just think the midfield's... It's a great midfield we've got. I think all round there's a lot of chances there to rotate different players, and I'm really, really, really pleased about that with the depth that we've got in the midfield. And I think onwards and upwards with that, you know. But Sadiq for me is he's a bit an anomaly now. I think he's a luxury that we don't need.
And our chances of winning the league at the minute, as things stand, mate, what you've seen so far?
Well, I stated last week, Ulster, I think we can win the league, and it's not just as all people say we're looking through blue colour specs. I mean, I don't go to Ibrox and sit in my seat and expect us to finish second. What I've seen so far, I'm very pleased about. With the Aberdeen and the Motherwell games were glitches for us, and we've all been stating here in the last few nights that some of the games are all the games that we've got coming up, especially the 5-6 games. Next 5 or 6 games are must wins, no draws, must wins. And Bridge was in talking the other night as well myself about we need to make Ibrox a fortress again. And if we do that, then we will win the league. As I keep saying, 27 points we dropped to Ibrox last season. That cannot happen again, and it shouldn't and will not happen. And then we can win the league. Definitely. Ulster, definitely.
Yeah, I love your optimism, mate. That's what you want to hear. Blue?
In terms of Sadiq, it's a little bit worrying how little we have seen the lad over the season so far, as whether it's injury, whether it's the fact that Stephen Gerrard just thinks he's not up to the job, or what, I don't know. We've seen, as Fox said, we've seen bits and flashes of him, some of it good, some of it bad. So I think the best we can say is the jury's still out. So we'll need to just wait and see what happens when. But I would think Roma can't be that happy him playing as little as he has been. So unless it's been an injury, I can possibly see him getting recalled. As regards the midfield, I think we're not too bad in terms of depth, especially now after the international break, and players that had knocks and that will be shaking them off and hopefully getting fit again. The one area I do think we were still short is another defensive midfielder, because I think perhaps we've missed Lassana Koulibaly in the wee time that he's been injured. So I think perhaps if we could get another one in January, it might well serve us quite well, and we'd also be able to rotate them, and that would hopefully lead to less injuries. And what was the last bit of the question again?
You're just from what you've seen so far, your chances with the league.
There's always a chance of the league, but as I think really it depends on what happens over the next few weeks. If we start putting the points on when we've had a difficult start to the season, especially with all the Europa stuff, and we've had little mistakes and things that have gone wrong, but we need to stop that. You've got games that we should be winning coming up. So I think we should be really getting in there and racking up the points. And if we don't start racking up the points, then I think we might start struggling to believe that we could get the league this year. I think we might just possibly fall a little bit short if we don't.
Okay, mate. And then Bridge, and then we'll go to Ox.
Well, as far as Sadiq's concerned, unfortunately he's not had enough chances. He's only had a couple of maybe 10, 15 minute appearances to show what he can do, and some of the things we've liked or enjoyed and things like that, but he's not impressed greatly overall. The truth of the matter is he might not have been quite match fit, might not have been ready for Scottish football. The manager's obviously got him playing in the sort of the under-20s or the youth league, whatever it is he's playing in, and he's apparently played quite well and scored a couple of goals. So as the games go on now, it's going to become more important that he gets a couple of runs. Otherwise, he's just not going to make it for us. As simple as that. It's a very tough thing to do, to come here on loan and play and shine, particularly when you've got someone like as predominant as Kyle Lafferty coming in and taking your any chance you had of getting an automatic slot if one of your centre forwards gets injured. It's just tough, And I feel sorry for a guy that way, but he has to show when he gets a chance. He has to show. Simple as that. As far as the midfield's concerned, with a whole host of midfielders who were injured, and they're all apparently every one of them are available for training and are taking part in training and so on and so forth. The managers over this last few week period here, the managers had a chance to look at them all and see who's ready to go. And yes, from a rotation perspective, every one of them need to be fit, and the manager needs to see them fit, and the manager needs to make very slight variations in his play in order to cater for some of these guys, because they've all got to get games. Every one of them, they have to get games because they have to give relief to the other sort of midfielders, because we've got a lot of games in Europe to play as well as the league. And as far as winning the league's concerned, I think Blue Shadow's got it right there. If we don't start to win games and get sort of bank points on our way going at home, I think we might fall short. We just might fall short.
Okay, mate. And Oxley?
Well, I'll stick to my guns, mate, with what I said during the summer, mate. I think we'll get 20 more points than we did last season. Now, whether that'll be good enough to win the league, we don't know. I'm still seeing room for optimism and positivity amongst our team. We were unlucky to drop 4 points, and I hope the last-minute goals don't come back to haunt us, mate. But I think we can get 20 more points. Whether that'll be good enough to win as a league, mate, it's maybe not within our hands. But if that was to happen, I would see it as a step in the right direction. Midfield, I've got a wee bit different point of view for Blue Shadow. I think it's a bit of guile we need. There's a lot of the midfielders look as if they're similar. There's similarities. Jack, Koulibaly, maybe Rossiter, in the defensive role or the hard working. I don't want to say water carriers because that's insulting, but the guys who make your team tick when they're playing well, just keep it simple, moving you forward. It's a bit of guile. Whether or not the long hard slog of Scottish football, Gira could be that guy, I don't know, because he's inexperienced and his youthfulness, but it's a bit of guile. Also, could Graham Dorrans be that guy? I don't know. time will tell. But that for me is where we lack there. Big Sadiq, I think first and foremost, mate. We've seen him. He was entertaining, definitely entertaining. Modern day Ted McMahon. First of all, I think he's got to go on the bench and be challenging for a spot there, and then we'll see what it takes. Is at the moment he can't even get on the bench, so maybe it looks as if the manager doesn't fancy him, mate.
Well, funny enough, there was an interview Gary McAllister actually done. I think it was a week or two ago, and he was actually saying that the Roma was actually over. They were over looking to see how he was progressing and stuff. So I don't know what to take out of that. I don't know whether they were over just to see as a general thing, how's he getting on, or was it maybe to do with why is he not getting on? That'll be interesting to see how that one unfolds. But I think from what we've seen so far, I think that's probably why it pushed Lafferty, or for the manager to go for Lafferty, because from what we've seen, he does. If Morelos had to get injured, Ox would have been in big trouble for me. Because I just don't think Sadiq knows the game in Scotland.
We're still short.
Do you think he would, Ox? Do you think he would benefit going to Rudy's for a couple of weeks to fatten up?
Well done, Rudy. Get him in there, boy.
I don't
Sausage casserole.
I don't think you're being fair there, Fox. I think what he could learn for Rudy is the start of the buffet queue, because that would get him electric over 5 yards.
Brilliant. Being serious, I think it's maybe the fact that the game.
Serious.
I think it's maybe the game in Italy is just so different to the one in Scotland that he's just struggling to adapt to the change in the game.
I think that's a fair comment, mate. I mean, there's this little slow, whereas yours is all up and at them, and there's no the word I used was guile. We sometimes lack that, and whether he's got he's got the physicality. What is he, about 6'2", 6'3"?
6'4", I heard.
He's bigger than that. He's
So he's but it's whether you've got the heart to go with that physique, innit?
Well, I think most of the fans that saw him at Ibrox a couple of times he came on were really keen for the guy, and look at a big smile on their face. Some of his antics, and he sort of, shall we say, dribbled himself a couple of times, But gee whiz, he's a big tall fella, huge tall guy, big rangy, gets his footwear you don't expect it to go with that kind of thing, I just wish him all the best. Whatever happens to him, I just hope he gets a wee chance, and he's got the ability to show us what he's got. It'd be fantastic. It'd be absolutely brilliant.
Well, just when we're talking about strikers, John Brown's asked. Well, it was said talk today of Darren Bent wanting to move to us, obviously because he was on TalkSport and he was saying he would love a move, but he said it was actually yesterday, but because we're going through the questions again, that's why it's put like that. So Fox, I don't know if you heard anything about the Darren Bent rumours. Would that be one you'd be interested in, or too old for you?
Well, I think he's only 33. He was a Premier League striker at one time, but I think since he's been released, mate, he's been going about opening the leagues in England, doing a pay for you play sort of thing. And I don't think he'd be fit enough. Our teams are all about work rate. And at 33 and probably a long way off his fitness, I don't think he would offer much to Rangers at this time.
Okay, Jimmy?
I agree.
100% agree. I don't want him anywhere near Rangers. Where would he play for a start? Where would he be in the bench? Would he be ahead of Sadiq? No, for me, nah. I mean, he's touting himself down south there. Pay as you go, as they say. And nah, for me, it's not a road we should be going down. 33 is no old for a player by any manner of means, But for Rangers, never. And I hope it never happens. Never.
Sorry, Oxley, I cut across you, mate. Go ahead.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. It was just that I think Fox has summed it up perfectly, mate. I think he's somebody who looked and thought, I can go up there and I was a man back in the day and I'll be able to cut it up there. It ain't as easy as people think. Bigger names than Darren Bent have been unsuccessful trying to employ the fields of Scottish football.
Yeah, can I just say on that one? Sorry, Oxford, sorry, bud.
No, I'm just saying. I wonder. The only thing that would scare me about it is, it seems like another sort of James Beattie signing, and we know how that one went.
Yep.
Go ahead, Bridge.
I was just going to say that the guys are, in my opinion, spot on. I would have doubts about his fitness. Number one, he's all the words that we've said. He's a Premiership player who's now out of contract, and the truth of the matter is, nobody wants him. By the look of and sound of it, nobody wants him down there. So he's obviously not. He's not Premiership quality anymore. Probably not even Championship quality anymore. He may be sadly unfit, maybe through injury or lack of playing. And if he's badly unfit and he's at 33, the chances of him turning around would be absolutely miraculous. So I would imagine that if Mr. Gerrard has any way, shape or form taken a fancy to the thought of getting an ex-Premiership player in the club, he needs to send somebody down to see him and speak to him and see what he's like. Take a photo of what he was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and see how much weight he's put on, that kind of thing. Because I doubt very much MD at 33 is going to be able to have the legs that he had 3 or 4 years ago. It's just not going to happen if you're not playing every week. You need to be playing top class football to retain that number, that ability and physicality in the legs.
Yeah, I know he is training. I can't remember which team it is, but he is training with a champ. I don't know if it's Championship or League One, but he's been offered a pay as you play.
Burton
it's like a
Albion.
Burton, but he declined that, Jimmy.
Did he?
So I heard. He was off, but he's still training with them though. He's still using the facilities, but they offered him a pay as you play contract.
Right.
But for some reason he's turned that down. I don't know what that's about, or maybe he thinks there's something somewhere else. But if I was him, I'd be taking that. If you think you've got a job to do, why not take a contract for this game and that game and show your skills off?
Somebody says to me today, it's no, I don't listen to it a lot unless I'm listening to Hugh Burns and that. But you can correct me if I'm wrong here, because I've not actually been in Facebook yet. Somebody said that Rock Sport or a day were doing a poll, and Darren Bent and John Terry were mentioned in a poll, and somebody says to me today that Darren Bent actually came out quite high, that Rangers fans were wanting him. Was I told the wrong information there? Do any know anything about that?
I haven't seen that myself, mate, but I haven't been on Twitter much today. I don't know if any of you guys have heard that, but I'll look that up though. I will look for it.
Jimmy, can I just say, if indeed they were saying they wanted Dan Bent up, then they're looking for the Dan Bent of 2 or 3 years ago, who was a top quality player. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah,
I think they've got more chance of signing the Duke, Kent.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it could be the case amongst Rangers supporters that we've covered the centre-back positions. We're quite happy there. And I think if you were voting between the two, you'd maybe plunk for Darren Bent, because striker is something we still possibly need, and that would be a swung a vote, mate,
Probably, aye. Probably you're right there, mate, aye.
Blue, have you any thoughts on that, mate, the Darren Bent situation?
Well, Darren Bent, as Bridgman said, he's unlikely to have the level of fitness that we require. And for somebody who's 33-year-old, and Darren Bent's game, as I remember it, was largely about pace. And when you reach 33-year-old, you start losing that yard of pace, as we saw with Kenny Miller. He just couldn't get away for defences the way he used to when he was playing for us, and it affected him quite badly. I think another thing Darren Bent used to suffer from was intermittent bouts of fitness. As he'd be fit for a wee while, he'd get a knock and then he'd be out for God knows how long. So I just think it would be an absolute nightmare for us, and I think it'd just work out very, very badly, and to be quite honest, a waste of money.
Yeah.
I'm with Blue, mate. One of the best put-downs I've ever seen was Harry Redknapp when Darren Bent played with Spurs, and he missed a few sitters. He said, my missus would have scored.
I remember that.
He does have contact. Well, previously had contact with McAllister, mate, and I think he would know him well, whether he would be fit enough or no. Kenny McAllister was part of the team that's bought him. Was it £18 million he changed hands for at one time?
Oh, he went for a few quid, mate.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I
Yeah.
think Gary McAllister was in either the coaching side of the team he went to, if I can remember right, you know.
I thought he was a smashing player when he was, 10 years ago he was an absolutely brilliant player. But my goodness gracious, based on what I'm hearing, he's not played top class football for a wee while. That's really difficult. Really difficult.
If I could just cut across you there, Brisbane. Skipper's come up with a really good point in the lobby. It says, correct, Blue Shadow, at 33, Brisbane couldn't get away for the Bulls the way he used to.
There's a lot of truth in that, by the way.
That's because he lost his driving licence.
Both. My lips are sealed, but I'm not telling you anything. Simple as that.
Tell me, Bridge, I'll not tell anybody.
Is that not the same age as Gareth Macaulay, though?
36 Gareth Macaulay is,
Is he? Well, he
No,
seems
he's
fit enough
38.
for his age.
Yeah, but
Defender.
Gareth Macaulay was playing. But Gareth Macaulay was playing top class football right up until the end of the season there,
I'm just saying it.
and then
Yeah, it's no age.
international football as well. No, but all I'm saying is it's if you've got the legs and you can retain your places in the teams and get your minutes in, you will be able to play football for a long time. But see if you can't get the time on the pitch at the top class, at the top quality stage of the football, it goes. Your legs go. There's nothing you can do about it. It's nature. It just goes.
So what, Foxy, you seem to be sort of leaning towards it a wee bit, but would you accept that then if Rangers were to offer, say, something similar to what has been offered to him down south as a pay as you play rather than a long, a contract, if you know what I'm saying, like for a year, maybe just to pay as you play to see how he gets on?
Well, it depends obviously on how fit he is. I mean, there's loads of reasons why players don't get signed up, mate, and it could be that nobody that's tried to sign him could match his wage demands, so that may be why he's doing a kind of pay-as-you-go down in the bottom leagues. But I don't know what sort of wages he would be looking for to come up here, and if the management team thought it was okay, it would be okay with me probably. And they end up, I've changed my mind for the start of this conversation. At the end, yeah.
How many years is it since he's been a Premiership player, though? It's got to be a good few years, isn't it?
Yeah, he was at Derby County for a long time, Blue.
4 years ago. 4 years ago, 2013-14, he played the Premiership.
Oh.
It's more recent than I thought, then.
So it moves us on then to Peter Ramsey's question. So Fox will continue with the trend we done last time. So I'll ask you first. It says, do you think Rangers will ever see Rossiter fit enough to have a future at the club?
He's been very unlucky, that boy. I think I read somewhere the day, it might have been on Rangers media, that somebody listed the injuries that the boy's had in the last few years, and it's pretty horrific. You can only hope that he does finally make a recovery, because he's definitely a good player. I think we'd need to see him over a wee run of 3 months. If we could get 3 months out of him, no injured, I think we would all be glad to see him in and about the Rangers first team. Rangers have been very patient with the boy, and I hope he does make a recovery, because he's never gied up where some players might have. He's always trying to get back to fitness, and good luck to the boy.
What's your thoughts on Rossiter, Jimmy?
I'd like to see the guy get a run a couple of first team games to maybe see what he can do. But the injuries that have been listed there seem horrendous, and fair play to the guy. He's tried his best and to get back into the first team and that, but I just don't see it. What I've seen in a Rossiter in past is I like him as a player, but he's maybe just one of these players who, injury-wise, it's always there for him. Some players go through their career like that, they can never go off the treatment table. It's a shame. He's a fair player. I'd like to see him get a chance, but I think injury-wise, I think that's going to maybe beat him, and that is a damn shame.
Oxy?
I'm going to say that Jordan Rossiter will play some games for us, but he's entitled to a bit of luck. And I looked at his injuries a few weeks ago, mate. And if it was constantly saying hamstrings, you say, oh, the boys, there's a problem there. And that's what worried me about Lewis McLeod, who seems to be going from strength to strength now, who was in a similar sort of situation for Rossiter. But the thing that Jordan's got to get a place in the team, because he's not a flair player, how do you get him into the team? Because he's not going to come off the bench and change the game. He's going to be a light-for-light replacement. If you go a goal behind, he's not the kind of player you're going to bring on to maybe try and get you back in the game. He might be somebody you'll bring on if you want to hold on to what you've got. So maybe Europe might be bizarrely where we might see Jordan playing if he gets fit in the next few months. I hope, rather than think, that he'll get a run of games for us and then maybe prove us all wrong. And there away with that reputation he's got, because he looks when he's played that he's a nice player. And that game he had at Easter Road at the back end of last season, for the first half an hour, he was the only player we had in the park.
Very true. That's very true. I think, I see when I was watching that game, because I was getting all excited because look at what we've missed. He scored a goal. He was fantastic. He was shouting at the other players, geeing everybody up. And unfortunately, back to square one again with injury. He's just been so unfortunate, hasn't he?
Aye. But there have been different injuries which can give you a bit of hope. But he has been dreadfully unlucky.
Blue, what's your thoughts on that, mate?
It's very, very sad. I mean, the guy is absolutely, he's quality. He's just quality player, in that position. He's absolutely fantastic. I say how he'll get a game, I think, will be squad rotation. I think, people will just, with the amount of football we've got going at the minute, players will come out and it just gives players those bit of rest if the lad can get himself fit. And same as Oxier there, I hope the lad gets fit, but I'm really worried that he's just had so many injuries at such a young age, and whether he, he says, looking at the list here that Cushy Numbers put up, and that's 5, sprains and strains and just things all the time, and he hasn't even played that much for us, so it's very worrying. But I still hope that we can get him fit and get some game time out of him, because I've no fears that he'll let us down in any way.
Great point for Broxy in the lobby. He's not in the European squad, mate.
Yeah, he's one of these guys. Sorry, Ulster. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Brad. Well, you're up next anyway to answer that, mate, so carry on.
I was just going to say, my thoughts on him are that I'll take on from where Oxier was saying there. I thought he had a fantastic performance against Hibs at the tail end of last season, the 5 each game. And yeah, for a good chunk of that first half, he was our man of the match by a long way. Probably his best game in a blue jersey, I would say. Hopefully, this is again, you're back to this, can he get number of games on the run? He needs about maybe 5, 6, maybe even 10 games in a row to be able to play and build up the leg strength that's required for it's a tough season in Scotland. He needs to be able to do that. He needs to come out, needs to play, needs to be lucky in the first 2 games so he's injury free. And once he gets over the injury free bit for a couple of games, then the world's his oyster. But the point of him not being available for a European games may be a bonus and a benefit for both him and the club, because he might be the man in the midfield that you could actually put in, gets him his time, and it gets the guys that play in Europe, a wee rest as well. So I wish him all the best, obviously. I think he's a fabulous player. He would be my defensive midfielder 100% of the time. He would be it.
Okay, mate. I think we've been joined by Rudy. Are you there, Rudy?
Evening, Ulster. I certainly am, big fella. How are you?
All right. Are you just back from feeding Big Sadiq? We were talking about you feeding him.
He's just back for eating.
Bulking him up.
I stuck up for you, Rudy. I hope you know that when you listen to the archives, mate.
I'll have a wee listen back later on tonight or tomorrow, Ox. Thanks very much. I know I can trust you.
You know me, Rudy. I always respect my elders.
You're just talking about the boy Ross, and I think it's a real shame because I think there's a cracking wee player in that boy. You know that he plays with a bit of pride and passion, so he does. You know, I think it's a real shame he seems to be made of glass though, doesn't he? You know, he doesn't seem to be able to get a run of games. You know, I mean, it's probably been what's been here a couple of years. He's been injured most of the time, unfortunately. You know, I don't think you become the England captain if you don't know how to play the game. I think the boy's as hard as nails, to be honest with you. You know, from a playing point of view, you know, tackling and stuff. I likes a good tackle, and I think he covers the ground really well too. You know, and I agree with Bridgeman totally there. See if he could keep that boy fully fit. I think he'd be a cracking defensive midfielder. He really would. I was so impressed with him. I was at the Hibs game, wasn't it? I was really impressed with his attitude in that game. I thought he was brilliant that day. I really did. You know, in a way he was, you know, older professionals that were running about him and probably more experienced professionals running about him that day. He was trying to get them on, you know, he was getting them up, trying to get them up for it and everything, you know. So he plays with a real pride and passion in his performance, you know, and it's a real shame that he's just so injury prone, you know, it really is. I would love to play regularly.
And Rudy's, he was assaulted in that game. The tackle was put on him, it was assault, mate.
That's right, the tackle I thought was absolutely disgusting how you get away with that tackle. I mean, that was shameful. Not a word about it in the Scottish press. You know, if a Rangers player had done half of that, they'd be screaming for the compliance officer. Yeah, Alan got away with that day.
The wee Nyaff got away with it.
It's like a terrible tackle, you know. But I definitely, I think there's a player in there. I know some of the Bears don't really rate him, you know, but I think that you boys, I don't know how you can say that if the boys never really had the opportunity to get on the part on a regular basis and shows what he's really capable of, you know. I do think there's a player there, Ox.
Okay, so the only other thing is another question here from Big Stevie from the Drum. And he has asked, why do Rangers fans still support, his words, the tartan trannies, and when they boo Rangers players all the time? So, do you have any thoughts on that, guys? Obviously, most of you boys all being Scottish. Questions will go to you, like Foxy yourself. And I know the players do get a bit of a hard time in the pitch. And would you prefer the players not to be playing for the national team, or would you? Or what's your thoughts on
it? I don't like to see it because of the feelings everybody's got, or the Rangers support, well, most of the Rangers support have got on the SFA about how they handled their previous situation. And but I think it's a thing for the players. A lot of players are proud to play for their national team, and I don't think the Scots up here that play for Rangers are any different, mate. It's something you'd probably want to tell your grandkids. You played for your country when you're an older gentleman, and I hope it's resolved soon. I was a mad Scotland supporter right up until I was in my 30s, maybe 35. I was going to all the games, and so were a big load of Rangers supporters that I knew. It's a pity the way it's turned out, but they'll need to find a solution to it sometime soon.
Okay, mate. Jimmy?
Never ever been to a Scotland game in my life and never will. The Roseville Bar and Partick, we used to run the Wembley Club, and I used to go to Wembley, but I only went for a swally. I never went for the game. Guys like myself, blue noses like myself, it's all right saying that the SFA, what they've done is and that, but I go back to 1978 when Ernie Walker, they absolutely crucified Wally Johnson for a so-called drug offence, and they ruined that man's career. For me, the tartan trannies, as Stevie calls them, well done, Stevie, because that's exactly what they are. I just detest them. Any Rangers player that wants to play for them, that's fine, that enhances their career. But for me, nah, I would never ever go and see Scotland. I never watch them on the TV, World Cups or anything. It just doesn't interest me. Any Rangers fan that wants to go and see them, that's their prerogative. I don't have a problem with that. I wear a kilt as a Scotsman because I'm a proud Scotsman, but I'm not a Scottish fan. Never watch them. I'd rather watch Coronation Street than watch them. But no, but you somebody that likes Coronation Street, didn't they? No,
You were doing all right up to then, Jimmy.
oh, come on, dude. Just
I thought it was Big Brother.
What a
Oh, no,
shocker you are,
that's-
Jimmy. What a shocker.
No, look, Stevie's right. The Tartan Trannies, that's a nickname that's they've been given, rightly so. Nah, I've not got any time for what Scottish international team bring. To me, they bring nothing. I support one team in blue, and that's the Glasgow Rangers. And that's plain and simple, guys.
All right, mate. Ox.
Like a certain generation when we lived in Glasgow, it was pretty easy to go and watch Scotland, and we did a lot of the time. Saw some great players playing against Scotland. Some great nights going to watch Scotland. The two Czechoslovakia games when we qualified for World Cup finals, and the majority of people you were standing with were Rangers supporters because it was all the Rangers supporters you went with. I think the political thing that happened, whoever thought that was a great idea, having a referendum and then splitting the country apart, wasn't a good thing. I think as Trudeau says, they try to steal our flag and our country, the Salta, which is part of the Union Jack, and make it toxic against us. What I will say is Scotland were playing on Monday night, and I was on the show, no watching the game, so that tells you the interest you've got in the national team. I find it very, very sad because, like most is getting brought up, you wanted the Scottish badminton player to win, you wanted sometimes the Scottish snooker player to win, the Scottish this, Scottish that, because that's the way we were brought up. But they've chose a certain demographic of people have chose to turn against us, and I understand fully that people don't want to support Scotland. But there's got to be a place for us Scotsmen to take their team back, mate.
Fair point, mate. Blue.
I think it's a very sad state of affairs. All in all, used to love watching Scotland both on the box and went to the odd game now and again when I lived north of the border. I think basically the Scottish football team has been politicised by certain people within the organisation, and also as well, we're never going to see an end to this as long as we have the situation in the Scottish media that we do at the minute, whereby they take out the greatest delight in dragging Rangers' name through the mud at any opportunity, but they will do nothing when Rangers players are degraded and booed and just called all the names under the sun. They won't even say it. They won't even stand up and say this is disgraceful. This has to stop. Because it's just it's what a way to treat a player who's decided to turn out for his national team. And until such times as I've said innumerable times on the show, not quite as many as true, but until such times as we get the SFA cleaned out as well, I can't see things getting any better.
Okay, mate. Bridge, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, it's quite difficult for me because I'm totally against the SFA in a huge way. I think that our team, our club, have been treated absolutely shockingly. I know it's our own fault from a tax perspective and what we did and blah 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 blah. However, we were one of the main contributors from a financial perspective to the SFA and the league. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we get treated shockingly. By them stating that the fans wanted whatever phrase they wanted to use, they used it, and they used that to put us out of the league, which was bad enough, but they put us right down, allowed us to go right down to the very bottom of the league, which suited, I think I must admit, suited most of the Rangers fans. But not only did they do that, but they did not leave us alone. They pounded us and hounded us and hounded us. They lasted 9 months without Rangers. 9 months they lasted. That's all they lasted, and then they created the SPFL, and that was the beginning of the end for me of the SFA because they were part of it. And for me, all they've done is steal Rangers' money. And when we got back up and we came up to the championship, we got to the cup final. Our players were attacked on the pitch. Were attacked by the hell at Hibs fans, and they never done a thing. Not a single thing was done to Hibs. Not a penny fine. Nothing. I think it's nothing but shocking, guys, seriously. And it's just continued ever since. The Motherwell player comes out there in a press conference and says he was hitting. It was a great laugh watching a Rangers player who had got his nose broken by one of his other players. No, again, nothing said, nothing done. They've attacked with players on the pitch. We've had red cards, and most of them getting rescinded. So that tells you something. It shouldn't have been awarded in the first place. So, sorry, I'm going to steal the show by saying these things. For me, never, ever, ever. I don't know, by the way, and I don't think that Alan McGregor was booed on Monday night, but certainly Ryan Jack, I heard, was booed. So that could, in fact, be the Aberdeen fans that were booing him because his Aberdeen Rangers connection. But under no circumstances should the SFA be tolerating any fans booing people who are there to support the Rangers and to play for because they play for the Rangers and they're there to play for Scotland. That's just wrong. Get it sorted, get it stopped, and you might find the Rangers fans are going to come back in to help because they can't do it without us. They've proved that they just can't do it without us.
Okay, mate. Well, we'll go to you, Rudy, and then we'll go for a tune after you've finished, mate.
All right, matey. I think it's kind of sad that I've got into the position now where I don't really care about the national side anymore, and I haven't done for a number of years now. For all the reasons that the panel's already, said. For me, the way the Rangers were treated by the SFA was absolutely shameful. I used to love watching Scotland. I was a huge Scotland supporter. My old fella was an absolutely massive Scotland supporter. We used to sit and watch the games, or we'd go to Hampden to watch Scotland play on a regular basis. I haven't done so for years. I've probably no intentions, really. I can understand why, some of the support, some of the Bears want to try and take the team back, the country back, the flag back, all this stuff. I understand all that. I don't have it in me to care that much about it anymore. And I said this the other night when we were discussing at Ulster. I've only got one love. It's as simple as that. I couldn't care less. I mean, sometimes in Scotland are playing now, I don't know the score, I don't know who's in the team, I don't know who they're playing, because I don't really care. I sat and watched the highlights the other night. And the most disgusting thing about that for me was the way BBC Sports Scene cut out the booing of Ryan Jack. There's two ex-professional footballers, one who played at Rangers, sitting on that, doing their punditry on that show, and not one of them even mentioned it. It's incumbent upon the ex-professionals who played for the club, and just ex-professionals in general, to stand up and talk out about this. Because it's unacceptable. Ryan Jack pulled on the dark blue jersey of his country, ran onto that park, proud moment for him. He wants to play for his country, which is fair enough. If Rangers players want to play for Scotland, that's fine by me. They can go on with it. But he ran onto that park, a proud moment for him and his family. And they had to sit there and listen to the half-wits and the tartan trannies booing a player who was coming on to play for his country. That is enough for me. That's it. That's all that I need to know, Ulster. There's many other reasons I could come up with, but that one for me, that's it. I couldn't care less what happens to Scotland. I don't care if they qualify for another big tournament for another 20 years. I couldn't care less. And I think in the last two games especially, previous games as well, where Rangers players have been booed, like Lee Wallace. I think in the last two games especially, you've seen attendances of 20,000, I think it was against Belgium. What they rated second in the world, something like that. Belgium, some great players. Yeah. I would love to have gone and watched that, just to see guys like Hazard and that in action, Lukaku, these brilliant players that the Belgians have got. I would really have liked to have gone and seen that. But I refuse point blank to go and support them. I refuse to pay them the money to go to Hampden on the night of a Scotland match. They had 20,000 there, and then against Albania, the attendance was 17,500. That tells you all you need to know. And if they're not willing to do anything at the SFA to realise, first of all, that they've got a problem, and second of all, they need to do something to fix that problem, as Bridgeman was saying, then I'm afraid I'm like Blue Shadow. I'm really pessimistic about the whole thing, because I really don't see them admitting they're wrong and doing anything about it, Ulster.
Okay, mate. Well, at that, we'll go for a wee tune, Foxy, if you're ready. If everybody could go on mute, please. Thank you very much for everybody staying on me. Hope you've enjoyed
Well
that tune.
done, Foxy. Well done. That was excellent.
Tune.
Oh, my trays are all smashed up now.
Talking about tunes, Jimmy, I received a wee MP3 your radio programme and thoroughly enjoyed it, mate.
Good, I hope you did, aye.
You always stick to classic rock, which is one of my favourite things.
It's a classic rock show, mate, aye.
Well, I'm going to be playing that for 7 o'clock on 40 ounce of Friday, mate. That goes on before the main show because I enjoyed it. And,
Jimmy, I hope you got my kind words.
I did, aye. We'll see it, didn't better that.
Jimmy, what's that on then? So I can have a listen to it.
Oh, be on here.
Right, it's called Pot UK Radio.
Right.
I'll send you the URL and you can have a listen to it.
All right, mate. Is it like an online station?
It's an online station, aye.
Do a bit of DJing on it then,
I've been DJing on it since 2009.
Brilliant. Well, I'll maybe listen to that. I like a bit of classic rock myself.
Well, tune in at 7 o'clock on Friday and you'll hear the first version of it, mate.
Brilliant. I'll do that.
Are you singing on it, Jimmy?
Radio.
Oh, if I sing on it, I'll be on for 2 hours, mate.
You're not doing a wee turn? Are you doing a wee karaoke turn, no?
Oh, I can hold a good tune, mate, and it's not just a Rangers tune.
Well, give us a wee tune the new then, to cheer the boys up. They're all sitting in the lobby here.
We're going to have a wee sing off here. Who's on his own bridge? Jimmy.
Would you want me to sing?
The boys are on a wee downer after that fabulous set of tunes there.
Oh,
you could pick us all back up
Wait
again.
a minute. Simple. You pick a song for Jimmy. Jimmy picks one for you. And
wait, bell your head. Not at all.
It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable today, guys. And I was a wee twist on it with a few of the tunes that if you listen to it, you'll see what I managed today. But I got a lot of good compliments to other places. But thanks for your kind words.
I like what you done, Jimmy. I like what you done.
Cheers, mate.
I thought maybe Jimmy they'd give you a slot at Radio Snide or something, you know.
No, you know what I would play? I'd be bringing out all my flute music and I'd try to get them on. I'd stick Hugh Keevins in a wee box and make them listen to it.
Aye, yeah. Like his head would explode if you done that to him, Jimmy.
But if you wanted to, matey guys, I sure can put something together for you every week if you wanted to put it on, say, maybe a couple of hours before the show on a Friday. But you can let me know and I would gladly do that.
What about the younger listeners like me and Ulster? You get anything for us?
Well,
the younger listeners, away you go, you.
Well, I thought
that's it, Bridge, isn't it?
Ox, I thought you might have been into a bit of Perry Como or Jim Reeves or something like that. No,
I like the sound of distant drums.
Hey, you know
with flutes coming, with flutes with them as well, mate.
Flutes coming. I just took the words with me as long as there's flutes coming with them. Aye.
Maybe just for the good times, Jimmy.
Aye. Oh God, here we go.
Fox was one of the old romantics back in the 80s, mate, you know.
Was that?
He's bragging about it now, look.
those were the days.
Those were the days.
I can't believe it. Aye, you keep going.
That's when you were able. That's when you were able to do all that.
I was just starting my secondary school there. Maybe was just starting work.
I love it. Well done, pal. Well done.
Sorry, Rudy.
But what you could do is, if you want it, guys, is if you wanted me to do something like that, I'll play anything you want. But if the guys are listening here and on the lobby, if they wanted to PM me, I'll put some tunes and requests on for them. As long as it's no tunes that's got any sweary words in them, they're more than welcome to send me what they want me to play, and I could do that if that's something that you're thinking of maybe doing.
Okay. Oh, don't put your reputation taking your suggestions for your lobby, mate. You're up your head.
We'll see what happens the first time then. And if it's all Perry Como and Jim Reeves, I know who it is.
What do you think? What do you think Skipper would ask for in the rock job? What do you think he'd go for?
I don't know. I don't know. Skipper. I don't know the guy, so I don't know. What would you think?
I think Milan would come in there. They might ask you for that Rolf Harris classic, two little boys for there too.
Oh, don't even go there.
Oh, that's enough of that, you.
Oh, come on now. All right.
Skipper said, "Have you got any Pinky and Perky?"
Dearie me. You'll be asking me to play with your didgeridoo next.
George Logan's asking for Orange Wings. There you go.
That's a good tune, isn't it?
Yep,
Oh, that's a good
absolutely.
tune.
That is a good tune.
I was going to do something just for a bit of a laugh for this hour of the show and see how we get on with it. But I'm looking, because we've got such a wealth of experience on the show here tonight with Rangers. So I want us to try and make a Rangers all-time Rangers team. So we're going to go for the all-time team. So we'll see how we get on and see if we can get a team together anyway. And we'll see. And we'll just go for the usual 4-4-2. I know you like your three at the back, Bridge. We'll go for a 4-4-2. So first of all, Foxy, goalkeeper. Who do you think? Who would you go for in nets for your all-time team?
Well, you've kind of sprung this on us. A lot of choices.
Oh my God!
I'm between Gorham and Close. So I'm going to. I'll pick Andy Gorham, all-time goalkeeper.
Okay, right, Jimmy.
Got to be Gorham for me. It just above anybody. Got to be Andy Gorham. Got to be the goalie, definitely.
All right, mate. Ox.
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, Rudy talks fondly of Jerry Dawson, but
Hey, you. Hey. Well done, Rudy. Oh, sorry.
but I think the guy who changed the position for me when he appeared, we hadn't seen somebody like him, was Chris Woods. But he didn't have the longevity as some of the other guys have had. And Gorham was fantastic for us. But then we've got the boy who's appeared, the Snow, and if he gets it right because his career the first time around, and then if he can drag us to 55, the way he keeps the ball at the net, McGregor's an absolute fantastic goalie. And then you've got Big Gas Meter, right? Barcelona Bears, and right through, like 2 treble winning teams. Barcelona Bears, loads of appearances for us. Was he as good a goalkeeper as some of the other names? I don't know, but I'm going to go for Chris Woods, mate.
Okay. Well, the way we're going to work it is we'll see how we get on, and if whoever most of you go for, we'll put that person in the position. So at the minute, I think Gorham's just in the lead. So, Blue, yourself, mate.
It's a real tricky one. There's so many. We've been one position we've been spoiled for so long over as goalkeepers. We've had some fantastic goalkeepers who we've been through. Say Gorham, and even some of the lads that have come in and done a fantastic turn for us, like Waterus and all the rest of it. But for me, I've got to go for Stefan Klos. I think he was just quality all the way.
Okay, mate. Bridgeman.
I think I would agree with Oxchair, with the exception of his final shot. I would go for McGregor. I think he's been absolutely a mountain for us, absolutely fantastic for us, and he's came back to us and he's carried us on his shoulders so far. I think he's been great for us, great for the club, great for himself. I go for it. McGregor for me.
Okay, Rudy.
Do you know, it's one position that we've certainly been spoiled rotten with over the years, Gorham, McGregor, Chris Wood, Stefan Klos, but to name a few. Do you know, I think I'm probably going to agree with Ox for the first time ever here. I think I'm going to go for Chris Woods as well. I was there the day that he got his record. fantastic. What a goalkeeper, England national goalkeeper as well. And I'd struggle to choose between him and Gorham, to be honest. If I was really pushed, I would probably go for Chris Woods.
Right, so basically the way that is, with 2 each, so it's between Gorham and Wood. And I'll do the casting vote, so I'll put in for Gorham. So I'll put Gorham in for there only because I know about Woods, obviously, but Gorham was the keeper, really. As I was starting to come in of age to watching Rangers, he would have been the main man for me. I think Gorham, so we'll stick Gorham in the team for our goalkeeper. We're moving on now to right back. Foxy, so...
I pick a right back first, also. Is that okay?
Of course, go ahead, mate.
Sandy Jardine every single day of the week. When I was a kid, all I wanted every year was my Rangers jersey with a number 2 in the back of it. So it's Sandy Jardine all day long for me, mate.
Okay, bud. Foxy?
I'll come in now. Fox is busy, mate.
Yeah, you go ahead, Ox.
Yeah. I mean, I would struggle to argue with Rudy's call of Sandy Jardine, but again, we've been blessed. I mean, Gary Stephen was something else in that position for us as well in that team, the Sooners team.
Yep.
He was a fabulous player. Perini was very consistent for us. But for our club, Sandy Jardine sticks out for a lot of reasons. But
yeah, totally.
Barcelona, great footballer, a better footballer than people realised. And in the 1974 World Cup, he got in the World Select at the Cup final. So, great player, great footballer, and a great man.
Okay, buddy. Blue?
I struggle to argue with that. Sandy Jardine, absolute gent of a man. For me, he's one, as I said the other night, I'm vied with John Gregg for the greatest Ranger ever, for all the work he did on and off the pitch. And as I said many moons ago on here, probably the world's first truly modern fullback. So for me, it's Sandy Jardine. All
right, mate. Jimmy?
Can only be one for me. You know where it's going here. Sandy Jardine for me, definitely. I don't think there's anybody comes close to right back position for Sandy Jardine. What a fantastic player he was. What an engine he had in him. Tackle and all. And he played into his career at a decent age and all. And it showed that he kept himself well fit to play to the level he did. But for Rangers, he was immense. What a player he was. Absolutely fantastic. Sandy Jardine.
Bridgeman?
What Bridge is saying at this moment also, they say, I like Sandy Jardine as well.
No, I'm saying that if you think about the great fullbacks I've had at right back, Bobby Shearer, you're going to go through to people like, to be honest with you, Kai Johansson, fantastic. These guys were just amazing fullbacks. Yes, I agree with you. I think young boy Gary Stevens was just different class from a playing perspective. I loved Jimmy Nicholl. I think he was a fantastic right back for us. And Sandy Jardine gets it for me because of what he's done for the club from the time he came to Rangers to the time he left, and then he came back again. And the manner in which he's came back, an absolute gentleman and great for the club. Great. What a wonderful player and a person.
Okay, mate, I don't know if Foxy's back with us. Are you back with us?
Yeah. I'm stuck between the two who probably originally never started out as right backs, and I'm between Sandy Jardine and John Gregg, mate. I think for John Gregg to be our best ever Rangers, I'll need to plunk for John Gregg, right back.
Okay, mate. Well, I've marked that in as it's obviously Sandy Jardine. He's unanimously there, nearly just apart from Fox. He's went for John Gregg, but Jordan's got in at right back. So now we're going to go to left back, Foxy, and I'll just go to you first, mate.
That's good, loads of good fullbacks either, but for steadiness, I could have picked Sasa Papic, but I'm going to go for Arthur Newman because I thought Arthur Newman was a great left back, mate.
Okay, Jimmy?
Right. Just stole it there. Arthur Newman for me, fantastic player. When we signed him, I thought when he came to Ibrox, I said, how are we able to bring a player of his calibre at that time? And he was a world. He was when he came to Ibrox, and he remained a world class player at the time he was at Ibrox. But what a defender he was! For me, it's going to be Arthur Newman, definitely.
All right, mate. Ox.
Well, there's no doubt in Newman's class. I would have to try and get Greg in the team, and I would play him in the opposite side for Sandy. So I would have him on the left where he played in the late 70s, opposite Sandy, in the twilight of his career. But I have to get Greg in the team, and I don't think when you move into defensive midfield, I think there's maybe better defensive midfielders than Greg there, but I think he'd need to be in my team as my captain for me, John Gregg at left back. But one guy I thought was a fabulous full back for us was left back was Davy Robertson.
Okay, mate. Bridgeman.
Once again, Oxford's saying some of the things there that most folk would agree with. You go back to one of the great captains of Rangers for a long time, Eric Caldow, what a marvellous fullback, a great international fullback as well. You come through to people like Davy Provan, great representative of Rangers. You mentioned young Davy Robertson, what a great... It goes on, doesn't it? Arthur Newman, what a player Ian was. And Sasa Papac, again, quiet guy, did everything right, smashing fullback for us. But I do agree with Oxtier. The best left back for Rangers, really and truly, is a standout club captain, greatest Ranger ever. It's got to be John Gregg.
Oh, okay, well, Blue, we're on 2 for Newman and 2 for John Gregg. So you have the vote either them two or someone different, maybe, mate.
Arthur Newman was a fantastic player, no doubt about it. There's a player that we actually didn't play that often at right back, but who was a fabulous right back, and that was Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, who went on to play wing back on the left hand side. On the left hand side at both Arsenal and Barcelona. But I can't disagree with the guys on this one. I can't think of another position to put him in, so it's got to be the greatest Ranger ever for me, John Gregg.
Right, so that's John Gregg in at left back. So we're going to the 2 centre backs now. So
yeah, Ulster.
Oh, sorry, Rudy.
I'm going to go for John Gregg as well.
Phew! Thank God, because I put that in pen.
Ulster, why did you forget Rudy there? Ulster, why did you forget Rudy?
I thought he's maybe away. No, sorry, apologies.
But I tell you though, see, young Robertson.
It's 6 minutes before he goes for a snack, mate. 10:30.
I thought he was a fantastic young back, David Roberts. I loved his pace. I just thought he was absolutely superb. I used to love seeing him flying up there with the ball at his feet, but I don't see how you've got... Oxford made a great point. You've got to get John Gregg into an all-time Rangers team. So, for me, it's got to be John Gregg.
Okay, bud. So now, Foxy, you have 2 centre-backs to give us. Your 2 favourite or best centre-backs for a Rangers team.
Richard Gough would be one. I would have picked Terry Butcher, but he's went a bit bananas and I'm not picking him. Alongside him, somebody that wasn't greatly appreciated by a lot of Rangers fans, but I'm going to go for Colin Jackson.
Colin Jackson, okay, mate. Jimmy, your 2, mate. Oh, I don't know if Jimmy's maybe away at the minute, actually. Oh, did we? Okay.
Again, Rudy likes his lyrical about Willie Woodburn, but I've never seen him myself. But
you're giving me it tight tonight, mate. You're giving me it tight tonight.
There's a few spring to mind, and I think Butcher changed that role when he came into our team. His physicality, he could play a bit. Richard Gough for his pace and his bravery. I'm going to go with a different pair, but the same era as Fox, and I'm going to go for Forsyth and Richard Gough. Tom Forsyth and Richard Gough.
So Forsyth, and then obviously Gough, he's now 2 votes. Okay. Blue.
I'm quite sick because I thought I was going to pull one out of the hat with Colin Jackson, but folks beat me to it. I saw him a few times. He was a very educated player, you know. He's so one of these people. For me, he was a wee bit ahead of this time. He was an excellent cover and centre back. So for me, it would be him and Big Goff as well. Fantastic player. So I'll go for Goff and him. I mean, I've seen Forsyth a number of times, and he was again a very underrated footballer. But I think the other two just shade it for me.
Okay, mate. Bridgeman.
He must be away for his tea again.
No, I'm just thinking through here, guys. I would think that what you have said has been very good up to now. Personally, I would take, you know, Butcher and Goff were just fabulous for us. But I'm going to hanker back to way back in the 60s, and I would go for Ronnie McKinnon and Harold Davis. That's who I'd go for.
Oh, good name, huh? Harold Davis.
Okay.
There we.
Rudy.
It's got to be Richard Goff every day of the week for me. And I understand what Fox he's wee joke there about Terry Butcher, but I think it was an absolute colossus in our centre of defence. I couldn't see, when he was playing for us, I couldn't see by him, to be honest with you, Ulster. So I'm going to go for Goff and Butcher.
Okay, mate. Are you back with us, Jimmy?
Back here, guys. I lost my mic here. It's got to be Jaws for me. Jaws Forsyth. Loved him to bits. Thought he was a great player. And the best captain we had out after Big Greggy was definitely Richard Goff. For me, they two hands down. Tam Forsyth, so we won't call him uneducated, but some of the things that it was fearsome, and that's why you get that name. Obviously, his tackling and that, and his thunderbolt shot in the cup final for me was the best thing I saw in my life that day. And just for me, it's got to be Goffy and Tam Forsyth.
Okay, well, Goff, he's well in the lead with 5 votes. And we're split between Colin Jackson and Forsyth, who's got 2 votes each. But because I've met Forsyth in person, he's a lovely, lovely gentleman. I had a great crack with him here in Lisburn when he came to our club too, so I have to go for him. So I'll put Forsyth in there. I'll give him his 3rd vote. So that's Goff and Forsyth in centre-back positions. Now, Foxy, we're moving on to right midfield. So who do you think in that position?
God, never even thought the right mid. What are we talking here? Right winger or a 4 across the middle, a 4-4-2? Are we talking?
We're just going for a 4-4-2. Yep.
Oh, Wally Henderson, mate, on the right.
Wally Henderson. Okay. Jimmy.
Wally Henderson all the way. Definitely, what a player, wee Wally. Could beat anybody, even miss a cigar in his mouth. What a player he was. Wally Henderson.
That's 2 votes for Willie Henderson. Oxy?
When you try to get players into the team, I never seen Willie Henderson. Rudy did, but I never. Sorry. But
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
there's guys on the right. How do you fit them in? If when you're playing in a 4 and you're playing 2 wide men, you've got to try and get. There's Willie Henderson, Willie Johnston, Davy Cooper, Brian Laudrup. Right hand side. Laudrup for me. I'll play Laudrup in that position because of what my 4's going. My 1 or 2 other wide man's going to be.
Okay, mate.
So Brian
No
Laudrup.
problem. No worries. Blue?
It's a very tough one at Oxon. I mean, as Ox was saying, I mean, you've also got people like Tommy McLean as well, you know, pinpoint crosser of the ball. How many goals did Big DJ get off Tommy McLean's crosses? But the one that just amazed me for the speed that he could dribble a ball at, he was faster than many of the fullbacks were without the ball, and that was Brian Laudrup for me. Absolutely fantastic player, and we could get another Brian Laudrup at Rangers, it'd be absolutely fantastic. So I'll go for Brian Laudrup.
Okay, so that's 2 votes for Laudrup now as well. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think Willie Henderson was a great shout. Alex Scott before him, tremendous, great right winger. We've had some smashing players playing out on the right, but seriously, I don't think there's anything to touch that boy Laudrup. He was just different class, world class.
Okay, mate. Rudy?
I'm kind of torn between Laudrup and Cooper, to be honest. I don't know. No, I'm going to move. No, I'm going to go for Davy Cooper. Sorry, I've got to go for Cooper. I watched Cooper many an occasion, and he could blow hot and cold, Davy Cooper, you know. But I talk about sulky. I just, man, I'd be sitting every time he got on the ball. I'd be up at my seat. I'd be wanting to see what he was going to do. So it has to be Davy Cooper for me. What an amazing exponent of football Davy Cooper was. Aye, Davy Cooper for me.
So what annoyed me about Cooper and Laudrup, Rudy, when the two of them made the game look that easy, they never had a hair out of place.
Right, aye. Couple of good-looking guys, weren't they? You know, had talent and bags, both of them. You know, I mean, I'd be just as happy with Laudrup in that position, you know. So I seen as how, you know, Laudrup's got a few votes. So I'm going to go simply for Davy Cooper, simply because I think he deserves to get a mention in that position.
Fair enough. So Laudrup wins that one. So that's him penciled in. So now we're moving to the left-hand side, and we're back to you again, Fox.
Oh, we lost Fox, have we?
No, I'm back. I'm here. I'm glad some of you put Davy Cooper on the left-hand side, but
On the right.
on the right there. But for me, outside left, between Davy Wilson, Wally Johnson, and Davy Cooper, I'm going to plunk for wee Bud.
Okay. Move over to Jimmy. It's your turn now, mate, to pick on that position of player.
For me, it's got to be either wee Bud or Davy Cooper. I know I was listening to Oxy saying it. I mean, Davy Cooper made it look that simple. You know, it was a blind player. You know, but I'm going to surprise a few, and I'm going to say I would put wee Bud in there before Davy Cooper. So my man out there on the left would be wee Bud.
There's 2 votes then for Bob. We're going to you, Oxy.
This is it's how you get people into your team, mate. And I would
it's hard.
I would have to play Jim Baxter there because I need to get him on the park. And but Wally Johnston, I know it's not his natural position. You'll see where I'm coming from. Because I don't know if you could get him in the middle when you have the other players, but he's got to be in the team for me, and he's left-sided player and Silky on the left. But Wally Johnston, Davy Cooper, even Laudrup on the left. No, I need to get Baxter in the team. He's got to be there.
Right, so Baxter, it's Bud on 2 and Baxter on 1. That stands at the minute. Blue?
I mean, that's just like go back to bad days coach the game. There's only one man that could, you know, I've seen a bit of Willie Johnson, but there's only one man for me that plays left wing, and that's Davy Cooper. Absolute magician with the ball at times. It's like, as I said, if he had 2 feet, he would have been absolutely, totally world class. There wouldn't have been anybody else to touch him. So for me, it's Davy Cooper on the left, on the wing.
Bridgeman?
Oh, some great wingers we've had. I remember Alex Scott playing outside left for us. You know, Davy Wilson was different class as well. And you come through like people like the Tin Man, Ted McMinn. But I appreciate every one of them playing for us, every single one of them. I have to say, for me, I would put Davy Cooper in. He was just absolutely superb. Absolutely superb.
Okay, mate. Now we're left for you, Rudy.
Right, well, I'm going to, because I couldn't put Laudrup on the right, I'm going to put him simply because I don't think it make any difference where you played Laudrup across that 4 in the middle. He was just an outstanding football player for me, and I think he could have played anywhere. And if I remember right, I think he did play there a couple of times, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm going to put Brian Laudrup there.
Okay.
Fair shout, mate, fair shout.
So you've got, basically it's back, it's a 2 each between wee Bud and Davy Cooper. So again, I'll have the cast and vote, and I'll go for Davy Cooper. So I'll put him on our team just because Super Cooper, like, you know, from what I've seen and the goals he scored, unbelievable player. So Cooper for me, probably because I haven't seen enough of him. Centre midfields now. So back to you, Foxy. 2 centre midfielders, or you can play it well. You have said centre defence, midfield, whatever way you want to work them, but 2 midfielders in the middle anyway.
2 in the middle, mate. Probably the hardest 2 positions to pick out of all the Rangers greats, but I'm going to go for a double act of Barry Ferguson and Jim Baxter in the middle, mate.
Oh, okay. Jimmy?
Jimmy's not on this, Mac.
Hi, Mac.
Oh,
How are you?
carry on, lads. It's an interesting team. I'm going to use mine.
I thought I changed my voice there. I thought, hey, wait. I've got about 7 or 8 players, obviously, we could put in there. You know, Ali McDonald, Wee Durante, Barry Ferguson. Dearie me. Well, in this one, I'm definitely going to have. I'm going to Orjan Persson.
Jimmy, just admit you're stuck. Is that too many to pick for?
Too many to pick for. I'm going to go for Orjan Persson and Ian Durrant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy. Oxy?
For me, it wasn't. He didn't have a longevity of career with us, and obviously he done stuff off the part that none of us were proud of. But for pure dragging people off their seats, and one of the finest individual performances I've ever seen when he scored a hat trick to win the league for 8 in a row, I would have to have Paul Gascoigne in the team. Undoubted ability, and then. If we're talking about people that played for us who were class in the sort of defensive midfield role and maybe had strutted their stuff, I wouldn't say he done it for us because he was past his sell-by date. But in his prime, it would have been Graham Souness. Souness and Gascoigne in the middle of the park.
That's a team, isn't it? Mr. Souness and Gaza. What do we go to now? We'll go to blue.
Yeah, well, unlike Oxtier, I never saw Baxter play, so I can't really comment on how good he was. You know, so we're going to go for him. But there's several other players I did say are absolutely fantastic, and one of them's got to be Gio van Bronckhorst. As mentioned him earlier, absolute quality player. You know, so him and Gaza. You know, he's quite unbelievable. To hell with defence, we're going all out attack, so I'll go for those 2.
Brilliant. Bridgeman.
I have to say, I do think we could a massive amount of fabulous players that played for us. Ronald de Boer, I absolutely loved him. I thought he was fabulous for us. But there's some players that are just totally outstanding, and were outstanding, the most gallus players you would ever see in a football pitch. And I agree with Oxtier 100%. It'd be Souness and Baxter. Foxy has said that. Souness for me and Baxter, as opposed to Ferguson and Baxter. That's what I go for. Souness and Baxter.
Okay, Rudy.
I think you've had a huge amount of an amazing. I mean, George Alberts was always a big favourite of mine.
I loved Alberts, yeah.
Oh, I loved him. The hammer. What a shot that fella had on him. So, but then Van Bronckhorst, class, absolute class. Barry Ferguson's got to be there for me. He really has. When sort of, kind of generation, him playing in that Rangers midfield, just gave it his all every game he played for us. So Ferguson's going to be one of them, and I just need to pick her up. Can we have 3 or 4 Ulster? Does it need to be just 2?
We played 4-4-2, right?
Right? Can we not play a 4-5-1? Right, okay. Right, so I've got Ferguson, Barry Ferguson. And I think I'm going to probably go with one of the greatest players I think I've ever seen with my own eyes at Rangers, and it's Gascoigne, Paul Gascoigne. Gaza.
Okay. Are you still with us, Mac?
Aye.
Right. I'll put this one to you because Gascoigne's definitely in the midfield because he's got the most votes. And we're split on votes between the panel between Baxter, Barry Ferguson, and Graham Souness. So out of those three, if you had to pick one, Mac, who would you put in your team?
Christ, you're giving me a hard one there.
Been a long time since you'd one of them.
I would need to have Souness in the middle of that park.
Do you have Souness between? So that's Souness and Gaza in our midfield there. Yeah.
I would
So
take
now
Souness in the midfield. I've got to.
Okay, mate. Thanks for that, Mac. So now we're back to you, Foxy, and we'll finish it off with our two strikers.
Well, for me, the stats don't lie, and it would have to be McCoist and Derek Johnson up front, mate.
McCoist and DJ. Okay. Jimmy.
Super Ali for a definite, and I know that Big DJ is the second top scorer I've ever had, but for me, my favourite all-time player striker out with them was Colin Steen. So my two up front would be Colin Steen and Ali McCoist.
Okay. Oxley.
Oh. McCoist, fabulous record. Was he the best finisher we had at the club I've ever seen? That's a very, very difficult one. But I think because his record, McCoist wouldn't have been there. Jim Forrest, Ralphie Brand, Jimmy Miller. The name strip off the tongue. I need to go with Fox, mate. I need to go for Derek Johnston, mate. I think Johnston, his career could have been, if his attitude would have been, if he'd have got it right when he was coming into his prime, I think Johnston could have looked at even better than he is today, mate. He went a wee bit wayward. But I've never seen somebody header the ball technically so good as Derek Johnson.
Okay, mate. We're now on to Blue.
Oh, good grief, it's a difficult one. I say you've got Mark, you've got so many great strikers picked from. I mean, McCoist was the all-time greatest goal scorer. You've got players like Derek Parlane, who was a personal favourite of mine when I was a lad. So much to me. But for me, I'm going to go for two lads. One, the greatest forward technician that I've seen play live at Ibrox, and his link-up play was absolutely phenomenal as well. And that was Michael Moles.
Oh, Blue, you got me. I was good show.
You get your chance.
And the other one for me, I'm going to be a bit of a strange one here. I know he only played for us for a very short time, but for me, he was the ultimate predator, and that was Marco Negri.
Oh, Moles and Negri. Two cracking picks. Bridgeman.
Oh, you've what a memory you guys have got. Superb, some great players there. Way back to Ralph Brand, great partnerships. Miller and Brand, fantastic. I would have to say, in all honesty, McCoist and Hateley were the best partnership the Rangers had from an attack perspective for many a long year. Once they got going, they gave you everything. They got everything. I'd go for them. McCoist and Hateley. That's not taken away from anybody. I love the Moles. It's absolutely quality, absolute quality. But really, as a partnership up the top, you're playing 4-4-2. It would be McCoist and Hateley for me.
Okay, mate. Rudy.
I'm going to go for Ali for obvious reasons. It's already been stated, you know. I'm going to go for Mulls again as well, like Blue Shadow. I absolutely adore Michael Mulls. He used to absolutely scare the life out of defenders with his pace and his low centre of gravity, the way he could turn with the ball at his feet. Seconds later, the ball would be in the back of the net. So for me, it's going to be McCoist and Mulls.
Okay. Right, Mac, we're on a tie again. We need you.
Well,
we've got McCoist. He's a clear winner. But we've got DJ or Michael Moles. Would you prefer any of them two?
No, I'm going for neither. I'm going for Jimmy Miller.
Oh, Jimmy Miller. Right. I'm going to write that down. Okay. And who else?
I would maybe say Big Hateley Langman.
Big Hateley. So, right. So that's us. There's a tie here again. DJ Moles and Mark Haitley are all tied. I'm going to go for Michael Moles because he was in my era. I have to. So that's the Rangers radio team. So I'll read it out. These see what you think. Andy Gorman nets. A back four of Sandy Jordan, Goff, Forsyth, John Gregg. A midfield four of Laudrup, Gascoigne and Souness, and Davy Cooper. And a strike force of Ali McCoist and Michael Moles. What do you think, guys?
Well, the tallest player was 6'1", so Bridge wouldn't have been a manager.
Bridge is scrapping that team.
Oh, can we have them at the weekend by any chance, Ulster? Yeah.
Even at that age, yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Like, that's some team, isn't it? Like, when you think of it. You know, but there was that many, you know, you could have put another 11 out, you know.
Definitely. Yeah.
You could have put 6 teams out with the amount of players we picked.
Can we hear Mac's 11, Ulster? Can we hear Mac's 11?
Mac picked one. Before Mac comes in, Mac picked one there. I was going to pick, but Ox would say that's too obvious for me because my name is Jimmy Miller. But I was going to pick Jimmy Miller, but I didn't bother, obviously.
Oh,
great partnership, Jimmy. Great partnership.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Marvellous.
Yeah,
thanks, Stickman. That's brilliant, yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Mac. So we'll go through your teammates. So your goalkeeper, first of all. Who would you go for in that?
Shearer, Caldo. Oh, sorry, Matt.
No, Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown.
Oh. I think you should have a golden oldies night for us, the audience. It's seen these players. See, it's generational things now. I forget what I'm coming to. No, a generation.
We have that on a Sunday night, but you keep forgetting it's on.
Well, you leave Skype alone.
Give us your back four, Mac.
I would go for Bobby Brown, Bobby Shearer. I go for Caldo. In the right half, I'm between Harold Davis and John Gregg, and I'm Jordy Young, my centre half. At the Baxter I left off. Now I've got to pick a place out for Greg. I would go for B. Willie Henderson, Ian McMillan, Jimmy Miller. I'll drop her off the brand, put Baxter in it outside left, and go for Debbie Wilson.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Bridge?
The mighty team.
Superb. We've already said it. We could go through and all of us have got favourites and we would like to see this one who came from that era to play in this team and so on and so forth. Sorry, pal.
Sorry, can I ask you a question, Bridge?
Of course, pal.
Who was the first attacking left back you seen?
Attacking left back?
Aye.
Well, Calder was an attacking left back, if you could, in the greatest sense of the word. So, yes, I would say it would be.
No. Baxter, Calder never had a hoppy lane unless he taken a penalty. Do you mind when Calder broke his leg playing in England?
Davy Wilson.
When it left back.
Took over, yeah.
Did you ever see an attacking left back like that?
No, not at that time, of course. He came back and did a great job for him. But I thought Calder was very good at attacking.
No, but Wilson made his name. He
came in. He certainly covered himself in glory at Wembley. Absolutely. Bobby Smith, I remember Bobby Smith that smacked Calder and broke his leg.
You know what company?
Absolutely, fun.
No, an attacking left back. That was David Wilson that made it. It's my opinion.
And you know, Mac, I don't know if you remember this boy. I remember there was a wee boy called. A young boy called Ian McDonald. His name was Ian McDonald, and he played left wing back, shall we say? He was the first of the newer era at wing back.
Eric Shadler.
Was it Shadler that did it? It was Shadler or somebody else that done him. Yeah,
Hibs, man.
It was a Hibsville back at the time. Anyway,
right, shut up, and we'll take on this program.
I know. I'm aware.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
No, but it's just when you were talking about the attacking wing backs. That was the very first attacking wing back that I can honestly say was a real. And it it was Ian McDonald. I see one of the boys says Diver McDonald. No, that was John McDonald, Roscoe. That was John McDonald.
Oh,
Called
the
him Paul
Java
Harris.
boy.
Aye.
I'm friendly with him, and I know he's better and all that.
Yeah.
But to me, David Wilson made an attacking full back that day, playing the left back.
He did indeed. He was a smashing
wing, swinging crosses in.
He was a great servant for Rangers, Sam. Great servant for Rangers.
As I say, Bridge, I'm not wanting to take it out of the programme, but it's a generational thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of the boys here have seen technically some fabulous players that if only we could have seen them when we were younger.
Aye.
And if only the boys were different when we were younger as well, instead of those big gauntlets and tea bladders. Oh my God.
My father used to tell me about what do you call them? David Meiklejohn and things like that, you know.
Aye, great names.
Aye, but how can they tell you, well, you played, you know, it's a generation thing. You can only talk about the players you've seen.
Yeah, absolutely, pal. Absolutely.
Sorry for that. Right.
No, but given your age.
Carry on with the show.
No, given your age, you have came through from your era, which generationally speaking is just before mine, and you've come all the way through to now. You've seen all the more modern players or players of a more modern era, and you can make that comparison in your mind because of what you've seen. And really, you've selected a number of players there, if not the whole team, from, to all intents and purposes, your era. And well done to you.
Right, Bridge,
well done.
I'll just stick at this. My favourite team all the time I watched, without picking them out, really. Richie Shearer, Caldo, Greg McKinnon, Bags, and Edson, and Brandon Wilson.
There you go. These are names that I think Oxchair was commenting on that last night. It was last night. When you say these things, because people know they just trip off your tongue, don't they? Just some of the names just trip off your tongue, you know.
Didn't they play together that often, that 11, Mac?
4 times.
Aye, unbelievable, isn't it?
And about four times or something, you know.
Aye, because always one of them knew it for different reasons. Sorry, Ulster.
I was speaking to a gentleman in Partick on Saturday.
That's an order to get a gentleman Partick.
Over vintage age, and he was talking about players I'd never seen. And I think Oxford know who I'm talking about.
The Oxy's dad.
A good idea, right? He loved Alex Scott, mate.
Tell you what, he was some player, you know, Oxchair. He was some player. He could play left and right, and he did. He was. I remember he was getting capped for Scotland when he was a Rangers reserve. There you are. Capped for Scotland. Fantastic player.
What did they call him, Bridge? Humphrey.
Humphrey, aye.
The way he was terrible, Humphrey.
Great player. Great player.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Right wing, left wing. Right wing.
Went on to date Everton as well, huh?
Absolutely, pal. I mean, and that's the reason he left Rangers, because he couldn't get a game in Rangers, because Davy Wilson was a star.
He played outside left, but he played outside left for Rangers.
I know he did, pal, but he was outside right, and then he moved over to outside left when we Anderson came on.
I'm not wanting to take out the show.
No,
went to Falkirk one day. I'm going back a few years. Went to Falkirk. Jimmy Miller was injured. Alex Scott out in the left wing and moved David Wilson to centre forward. Wilson scored 6 that day.
6? Was it 6 he scored?
Aye. Scott was just brilliant out in the left wing.
Yeah. Great player for Rangers. Awesome player.
As I say, I'm not wanting to tell you, so just nostalgia's taking over me.
Oh, you're all right, Mac. That's us coming to the end of the show anyway. But just a wee shout out, obviously, and condolences from everybody at Rangers Radio, especially the any family members or friends who would be listening, of Debbie McBlain. Most people would probably know her as the wife of George from the Ibrox Bar Tenerife, and she was laid to rest today. And I heard a couple of the ex-players, Ian Durant and Derek Ferguson, were in attendance at the funeral. So thoughts to anybody who knew Debbie, especially her family, from all of us here on the panel and from the show. Bridge, if you could just give us a wee shout out before we go, mate, and that'll end the show.
No problem. Can I just say, repeat your condolences there? I know the Ibrox Bar well in Tenerife. Very good, smashing place on match night. Absolutely bedlam. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys and gals.